Okay, our last question will come from Andrea Chisholm from Television Jamaica.
Thank you. Secretary Rubio, given changes to U.S. immigration policies, there are some Jamaicans who are afraid to travel back to Jamaica, even though they are legitimate green card holders. What assurances can you give to those individuals that they will have no difficulty returning to the United States?
Well, okay, yeah, well, green card or residency? I mean, permanent residence you're asking me about? Yes, okay,
yes.
okay.
And secondly, what problems, if any, does America have with China's investment in Jamaica?
Well, look, I mean, China's a rich and powerful country. Our problem with is not investment, okay? Our problem is predatory practices. That's what we're concerned about. What we have seen all over the world is that China comes in and says, here's a bunch of money for a project they never build. They bring their own workers to do the work. They don't hire the locals. They bring their own workers. And oftentimes it comes attached with a huge loan that can never be repaid, and now they hold it over your head forever. That's our concern. Our concern is unfair practices, too, where they come in, they're government-subsidized companies, underbid everybody because they're subsidized, but then they come back and charge you whatever they want because now they've got the contract. So these are the things that we remain very concerned about. Again, not specifically about Jamaica, but in general. And so that's what we'll continue to highlight. On the first point, I would say, let me talk about that. If you're a green card holder, you're not illegally in the United States. If you're a green card holder, you are legally in the United States. What the president has said, and I don't know how anybody can disagree with this, every country in the world has immigration laws.
Welcome back, family. How you doing? All right? Blessings, family. Blessings to each and every one there. So, Jaja. China, clap back. The US respond to Guyana yesterday with Marco Rubio and Andrew Ones meeting and what was said in the press conference. You hear me play this phone. What Guyana tells, manners and respect, Anthony R., Pauline Russell, Dan Mel, Rel White. Blessings, family. What you mean? So we're gonna highlight some stuff. We're gonna highlight also Marco Rubio's trip to Guyana. And we're gonna play that press conference, make you guys. So we listen it. Yeah. But before we go there, so you know the China always answer, you know that, right? You never know that. Yeah, man, China feisty. And China will answer. When Donald Tapia was in Jamaica, that was the United States ambassador to Jamaica under the first Trump administration, the first time around. And it was all over the news media. It was about the 5G at that time, and Tapia was a work hard and said Jamaica must not this and that. Remember, we don't have an ambassador to Jamaica from the U.S. named. Me don't know the person yet. The last ambassador that is there is this born Jamaican man who was picked by Kamala Harris. But since Trump, I don't know of any ambassador chosen to Jamaica so far. So let's get into what China is saying about the US and the visit yesterday, gentle people. So, Politics America, Asia Pacific. So that's how we are going with this today. It's Istanbul, Turkey. Jaja. China on Thursday asked the US to reflect on its bullying of developing countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, noting the US engages in coercion and plunder. China's Foreign Minister spokesman Guo Jiakun made the remark in a regular press conference after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio recently claimed that Chinese investment in Latin America and the Caribbean is predatory behavior. Rubio made the claim at a joint press with Jamaican press conference with Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Ones on Wednesday, saying the Chinese investment has brought huge debts that cannot be repaid, according to Global Times. Regarding this claim, the foreign minister's spokesman said that the U.S. deliberately spreads false information with the intent of creating division between China and other countries. China has always adhered to the principles of mutual respect and equality, mutual benefit, openness and inclusiveness, and win-win cooperation, carried out investments cooperation with countries around the world, and respected the wishes of relevant countries, Guyana said. The so-called debt burden is pure hype and disregards the facts. Who is engaging in coercion and plunder? Everyone can see clearly, the spokesman added. He advised the U.S. to reflect on its hegemony and bullying of developing countries in Latin America and the Caribbean and stop distorting and smearing China, he concluded. So, when you hear China response, people, loud and clear. No, yesterday I told you guys a little bit, the last couple of days, me tell you guys, how the first place Rubio went to, first official visit outside the country was Panama, have to do with the Panama Canal. And me tell you guys on this channel that the US fear that the Chinese might block the canal because they're operating 2 ports at the mouth of the canal, and they might block it in case there is a war between Beijing and Washington. So that's one of the fear. So I'm going to read it for you. I am going to read it for you so you guys can get better understanding. I'm going to take it from the book of Writers. Rubio tells Panama to end China's influence of the canal or face U.S. action. I want you guys to pay attention. So nobody can fool, Nobody have to explain everything to When you hear what's going on, then you can make your own determination as to what is going on in the Caribbean with Rubio and the whole team. Do you understand, gentle people? All right, let's read. Panama City, February 2nd, writers. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday warned Panama's President Jose Raul Molino that Washington will take measures necessary if Panama does not immediately take steps to end what President Donald Trump sees as China's influence and control over the Panama Canal. Molino, after the talks with the top U.S. diplomat in Panama City, signaled he would review agreements involving China and Chinese businesses and announce further cooperation with the U.S. on migration, but reiterated that his country's sovereignty over the world's second busiest waterways is not up for discussion. When you hear that part there, listen to that part there and write that part there down what I'm saying. It's not up for discussion. Rubio delivered a message from Trump that China's presence through Hong Kong-based company operating 2 ports near the canal's entrance. I read again. Rubio delivered a message from Trump that China's presence through a Hong Kong-based company operating 2 ports near the canal's entrances was a threat to the waterway and a violation of the U.S.-Panama Treaty. U.S. State Department spokesman Tammy Bruce said in a statement, Secretary Rubio made clear that this status quo is unacceptable and that absent immediate changes, it would require the United States to take measures necessary to protect its rights under the treaty, Bruce said. Rubio did not spell out exactly what steps Panama must take or what U.S. retaliation would look like. Upon returning to office, Trump threatened to take control of the Panama Canal, built by the United States in the early 20th century and handed over to Panama in 1999, claiming the canal is being operated by Beijing. He has refused to rule out use of military force over Panama, drawing criticism from Washington's Latin America friend and foes alike. On Sunday, Trump said that he did not think troops would be necessary, but that Panama had violated the agreement and the United States would take back the canal. Listen up, people, now hear what I talk about. China's running the Panama Canal. That Trump has said. China's running the Panama Canal. That has not given to China. That was given to Panama foolishly. But they violated the agreement and we are going to take it back. And something very powerful is going to happen, Trump told reporters. I don't think troops will be necessary in Panama, he added. Rubio, a long-time China hawk. Remember yesterday I told you about that? I read again. Rubio, a long-time China hawk, during his Senate career, said last week on Sirius XM's The Megyn Kelly Show that China could use the ports to shut down the canal, a vital route for U.S. shipping in the event of a conflict between Beijing and Washington. And I told you about this yesterday. I'm going to read it again so you can understand why I go on every region. Right? Rubio, a long-time China hawk, during his Senate career, said last week on Sirius XM's The Megyn Kelly Show that China could use the port to shut down the canal, a vital route for shipping, U.S. shipping, in the event of a conflict between Beijing and Washington. Listen to this, coming I don't let you know. So you can understand why I go on, people. Don't make nobody fool on you, yeah? All right. Molina said his meeting with Rubio was respectful and cordial. He showed willingness to review some Chinese businesses in Panama, including a key 25-year-old concession to Hong Kong-based C.K. Hutchinson's holdings. May I read that again, because I know you that part there good. We're not going to listen to part of very well. Somebody call me, no man. Me not taking a call right now, family. Not taking a call at this moment. Let me read, because I'm going to be thrown off, and the people are listening. Molina said his meeting with Rubio was respectful and cordial. He showed willingness to review some Chinese businesses in Panama. You hear that? He showed willingness to review some Chinese businesses in Panama, including a key 25-year concession to Hong Kong-based C.K. Hutchinson's holding. That must be the company where China hide under. Renewed in 2021 for the operation of ports at both entrances of the canal, pending the results of an audit. So, wow. So the Hong Kong-based company is, yeah. I feel them think that Hong Kong-based company today. I'm going to tell you, say, now go on the West and the Chinese government not involved. So them say this company operate two ports, basically at both ends of the canal. Listen to that part here. The contract has been targeted by U.S. lawmakers and the government as an example of China's expansion in Panama, which they claim goes against the neutrality treaty signed by both countries in 1997. Panama's government and some experts reject the assertion mainly because the ports are not part of the canal's operations. The canal is operated by the Panama Canal Authority, an autonomous agency overseen by the Panamanian government. A broad agreement between Panama and China to contribute to China's Belt and Road. Listen to this. I saw the hot water drop on them too now. That's why I know what I go on in Jamaica. That's why I can tell you now. Because I read all of this. Knowledge is power. I'm armed with all of them information here. And may I share it with you guys so you can understand. A broad agreement between Panama and China to contribute to China's Belt and Road Initiative, under which the Asian country expanded investment in Panama during previous administrations, will not be renewed, Molino said. When you hear me say a while ago, when me tell you now, yeah, but when we read it for you, are totally different. I'm going to read that paragraph here again. A broad agreement between Panama and China to contribute to China's Belt and Road Initiative, under which the Asian country expanded investment in Panama during previous administrations, will not be renewed by Melino. So there goes the end of the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative over there in Panama. Let's continue to read. We'll study the possibility of terminating it early, he added. So, whenever a contract and with the Chinese and you end it early, you know the Chinese might want to slap with them 2x4, them financial 2x4. Don't. Chinese not going to take that easy. I want to pay attention, people. The Jamaican news media not giving a shit, you know. This is what the leader said. We'll study. I want to understand. La 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 la. Let me read the paragraph above that again. A broad agreement between Panama and China to contribute to China's Belt and Road Initiative, under which the Asian country expanded investment in Panama during previous administrations, will not be renewed, Molino said. He also said we'll study the possibility of terminating it early. He added, I do not feel that there is any real threat at this time against the neutrality treaty, its validity, and much less the use of military force to make the treaty, Molina said, adding that it will be important to have face-to-face talk with Trump. First tour. Oh boy. Rubio later visit the Mary Flowers locks through which ships are between the Pacific and the canal. Canal officials brief Rubio as Panamanian flag LPG carrier entered a lock from the canal to descend to the Pacific. China has said it plays no part in operating the canal and that it expects Panama's sovereignty. So you know, so China always a answer. China always a lick back people. So, this is what the Chinese are saying about his visit to Panama and with respect to them owning the ports at both sides of the canal. China has said it plays no part in operating the canal and that it respects Panama's sovereignty and independence over the waterway. Never ever has China interfered. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maya Ning said when asked about the U.S. claims last month, adding that the China recognizes the canal as permanently neutral international waterway. Rubio is touring Central America and the Caribbean on his first foray in the post as he seeks to refocus U.S. diplomacy on the Western Hemisphere, in part to recruit help in stemming migration toward the U.S. southern border. The visit also reflects on a U.S. desire to counter China's growing economic and political influence in Latin America. Molina also announced that a memorandum of understanding signed in July with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security could be expanded so Venezuelans, Colombians, and Ecuadorians could be returned from Darien Gap at U.S. cost through an airstrip in Panama. So now hear that. So more of you know did Rubio talk to Andrew Onis about receiving immigrants from Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, so forth and so on. No one to know that. Did him say that to Andrew? I don't know. That's a question. The Darien Gap connects Colombia with the Central American nation of Panama, and increasing numbers of migrants were making the journey north to reach the United States. That's through the jungle, people. Rubio has ordered the State Department to put migration issues at the center of its diplomacy with countries in the region. Officials have said Rubio will use the trip to smooth the acceptance of U.S. deportation flights to the region. I wonder if him talk to such man about cooperating enough before we get the goodies. It's part of, to get the goodies, we have to promise them that we're going to do this, that, and the other. We don't know, people. Such man is very secretive, and in believe we are idiot and must know anything. Do you understand me, people? In believe we are stupid and we must not know anything whatsoever. So I also show you how China clap back. Yeah, China clap back about Jamaica, and China also clap back when he went over there in Panama. So let's read a little bit of the back and forth. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the People's Republic of China. May I read from that? Foreign Ministry spokesperson remarks on Marco Rubio's comments on China during his visit to relevant LAC countries. Question. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, during his visit to Panama, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and the Dominican Republic from February 1 to 6, made the comments concerning China, including on China's cooperation with Latin America and the Caribbean, LAC. The Panama Canal Belt and Road Cooperation, 5G, and cybersecurity, and the One China principle. He also claimed to counter the influence of the Chinese Communist Party in the hemisphere. What's China's comment? Answer. The groundless comments from the U.S., steeped in Cold War mentality and ideology, bias, are unfounded accusation against China aimed to sow in discord between China and relevant LAC countries, which interfere in China's internal affairs and undermine China's legitimate and lawful rights and interests. China has lodged serious protest to the U.S. side. China is committed to growing friendship and cooperative ties with LAC, which is Latin American and Caribbean countries, under the principle of mutual respect, equality, mutual benefit, openness, inclusiveness, and win-win cooperation. And I read that for you before. You understand me? So here is a China strike back. Same thing I read for you when they got Jamaica. Almost the same line. Same thing may I hear when Rubio went to Panama. Now, Rubio is over there in Guyana. And I want you guys to hear the press conference between Marco Rubio and the Panamanian Prime Minister. Only knows Panama, not Panama, Guyana, rather, people. Guyana, my bad. Guyana. Only knows Guyana have money now because they find newfound gold, which is their oil. And they are doing good. They are doing good. There ain't no bootlicker like we Jamaicans. We don't see where Panama, that's what I say Panama for, man. Guyana issue money to them people. Just dash your money to them people. So say, hey, take this, I feel. Yeah, man. Just throw money to them people because they make so much of oil, from oil. So they are giving back to the people freely. Freely they are giving back to their people, gentle people. So that's what's going on over there in Guyana. So we're gonna listen what was said over there in Guyana, because we have to pay attention, you know. How you mean? You stay there. We have follow Rubio. Everywhere going in the region, we have follow him up. Everywhere we go in the region, we have follow. Come on, for hear people. Very interesting time we live in, you know. Very interesting time. So, that picture of him right there in Panama Canal, you can see the ship right there, so. Right? So that's the Panama Canal. Rubio walking with officials in Panama. So, we're going to make it hear what going on over there in Guyana. If I the same thing is still such man or anything change. And we could hear if any dangling of candy and chocolate in the people's face backside. So, this is Guyana Prime Minister. And this is Marco Rubio, the U.S. Secretary of State, who carrying Donald Trump message around the Caribbean. So we're going to listen right now, people. What do you think? You know what I hear him? All right, make we listen, people.
Demonstrated his personal commitment to the national rule of law. Democracy demonstrated his personal commitment to the national rule of law,
Now hear?
democracy, and security.
Now hear good?
Guyana and the United States share a long bond of friendship and partnership. Indeed, the best of partnership are those built on shared values, mutual trust, and a commitment to the rule of law and international order. This is what underpins our bilateral relationship and friendship.
We're looking at
The
Christine.
United States is our trusted partner as we continue to build a stable, secure, and democratic society here. This visit has allowed us to consolidate our bilateral agenda, defining policies and outlining clear intentions in areas of security, trade, energy, investments, infrastructure, democracy, regional peace and stability, human capital deployment and development. I am very pleased at the reassurance of the U.S. in ensuring the safeguard of our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Our partnership and joint commitment to the safeguard of this region from every disruptive force is key to the maintenance of democracy and an adherence to the rule of law. The threats from Venezuela were specifically discussed. Their blatant violation of the ICJ order and Argyle Declaration were noted. Our joint commitment in enhanced partnership in combating transnational crime, inclusive of narco-trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering, and all forms of smuggling is reflected in the enhanced MOU signed today. We have reassured our partner that we'll continue to ensure all international and local labor laws are adhered to in the hiring of regional and international labor. Further, with our expanding healthcare system and critical shortage of human capital, we'll explore areas of collaboration in filling existing gaps. We're able to identify key infrastructure that are also critical to regional development as possible areas for investment and development. We are committed to working closely together on the deployment of our energy potential.
Sorry about that, guys. The Fox. Source, Fox. Live now, Fox. Yeah? And YouTube, we get it from, right? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. May I have to tell them a source. Continue.
Ensuring greater integration, value creation, and regional energy security. Food security and enhanced trade through joint initiatives to remove hurdles and expand existing areas of interest is key for both countries. I'm confident that the outcome of this visit has further aligned our policy agendas, shared commitment and partnership that will see enormous benefits for our two countries and the region. Let me once again thank Secretary Rubio for his personal commitment and that of the U.S. government to Guyana and this region in general. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. And we've been working together and interacting for some time during my time in the Senate. But I told him I wanted to wait until I was Secretary of State to visit, and so here I am. And I didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm grateful for this visit and for the warm welcome we've received. And it's an exciting time to be here. I think, and to the people of Guyana, thank you for welcoming us. I hope you fully appreciate and understand this is one of the most exciting places in the world to be right now, because you have the opportunity at this moment to transform this country for generations. And we want to be your partner. We want to be your partner in making that possible. We think it's of mutual benefit to see that happen. I get to visit in this job, already have a number of countries in the 9 weeks. I've only been on the job for 9 weeks, so let the record reflect, after 9 weeks was one of my first visits here that I've taken abroad. But we get to visit a lot of countries, and when you visit, you have some countries, unfortunately, are facing tremendous challenges, and they're just looking to stabilize. Other countries are looking to improve and make progress. This country has an opportunity to transform. And that's rare in the history of nations, to have an opportunity for transformative change. And what I mean by transformative change is not simply oil and gas fields. And that's very important. Natural resources are critical, but that is just the basic ingredient that allows prosperity to happen. One of the topics that's talked about all over the world today is data centers and the digitization of the economies, artificial intelligence. Do you know what you need in order to do that? You need to have really good scientists and engineers and technicians that know how to run it. But the most important thing you need to be a dominant presence in the world in data centers and artificial intelligence is reliable and affordable energy. That's just one example, among many others. You have an opportunity to expand in a responsible way agriculture production, not just for the needs of your population, but for the region. And to do it in a way that safeguards the beauty and the natural environment that's pristine.
Hey, Marco Rubio full of sweet mouth, people. Ain't no better person to travel the world and go talk with Trump. I tell you. He full of sweet mouth. And he look a face with his smile. No, hey. The thing about it, him study the Caribbean and each one of these countries and know our weakness and our strengths. You see him come to Jamaica, him tell me everything we need to know and what we're lacking and slacking. Him spit it out there. And while he was in Jamaica, I don't know if you guys was hearing him talking about Trinidad and Tobago. He talking about the oil, what them have over there. Them have problem with for them oil people because them not no money. Them oil refinery at Trinidad and Tobago can I shut down. So that's why they was getting oil from Jamaica. You never know that. They will get oil from Jamaica because for them oil refinery at Trinidad kind of shut down because them say the amount of money to cause them to resurrect the oil plant over there, the oil refinery over there. And it seems as if them not have the money. So if you notice, Rubio mentioned it yesterday because him study everybody, know the weakness and the strength of everybody and what you might need. So them dangle the carrot out there and say, hey, can I help you with the, me know so the broken and the money, No potential for me to country great with oil, What I do? Work with the US and me help, So him, they are Guyana now. Him know what going to Guyana too, So he study these things, people, before he go meet with these guys. And him know Auntie Olis are who, Him knows that Auntie Olis have 28 bank account, Him knows that Auntie Olis the claim asset for 4 years. Him knows that Auntie Olis should not be standing up there with him. Him know that. Auntie Olis I touch him, man, and I touch him up, I buy him, and I like, I friend him, I look, You ever say diplomat touch, diplomat say yet? Even when them are brethren, you don't do that. But anyway, we could continue. Yeah, man.
An opportunity to expand in issues of ecotourism. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of ecotourism. I'm not against ecotourism. I'm not an ecotourist. I like staying at hotels. I'll do it. Maybe I'll go somewhere. But there are people that love this stuff. They love it. And you have an opportunity to do that in an incredibly responsible way. I'm just touching on a few things. But that
hold on there. Me have to cut that because this is something that the comment section I want to respond to. Pearlie Simpson say, notice the Guyanese president's voice wasn't as cowardly as honest. I don't like that tell. I don't like that the Indian man afraid of nobody you can't see. Ain't no bootlicking coming from them. Yeah? You know hear that? Guyana are bow because they're not hungry. Them have oil. Them have oil. And when you have oil, you can send the oil anywhere in the world. Oil. What Jamaica have? We ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing to bring to the table more than we hand out. Just a handout. Let's listen.
There are opportunities before you. And that shared prosperity for your country that will come as a result of that is transformative. The lives of your children, the lives of your grandchildren, your lives are going to look very different in 5 to 10 years under this leadership and under this vision as it continues. And we just want to be a partner. Why do we want to be a partner? Just to be frank, why does the United States care about? Number one, we care about it because we think it creates a level of stability in the region, which we share. Not just stability here, stability for your neighbors, because we believe prosperity can become contagious. Just like instability can become contagious, stability.
All our people, me go look at church of Mark Golden, you know, a real pastor. Mark Golden, Marco Rubio is like a pastor, people. Me say, me go look at church for me, man. Brother, can preach.
Prosperity can become contagious. It won't just help you, it will help all of your neighboring partners in the Caribbean basin and the region writ large. And we think that ultimately makes life in America safer and more prosperous as well. And so we want to look for every opportunity possible to partner with you. But the basic element of any of this, the basic element of progress and transformation and prosperity is always security. So number one, we want to make sure that some of the tragic regional problems that exist with crime, transnational crime, we have a huge problem in the world right now with organized gangs and narco traffickers that destabilize societies. We want to make sure that never reaches here. And that's why today's MOU and the work we'll do together is designed not to stop it, but to prevent it from ever taking root, from ever finding its way here. Because unfortunately, sometimes crime is attracted by prosperity and targets prosperity. And the other are regional threats. The regional threats based on illegitimate territorial claims by a narco-trafficking regime. And I want to be frank, and I've said this during my time as a senator, and I have full confidence in saying it now as the Secretary of State. There will be consequences for adventurism. There will be consequences for aggressive actions. And that's why our partnership in that regard will be important. That is not what we want to be a feature of our relationship, but it is a necessity of our relationship because you have a very difficult challenge on your hands with a dictator that's making illegitimate territorial claims. And so you have our full commitment and support. Today we're demonstrating it both in tangible ways, and we're going to look for ways to make it long-term and sustainable ways, to make abundantly clear that we are invested, both as a nation and from our people, in being your partner in transformation and in prosperity. And we will not allow illegitimate territorial claims to be an impediment to your dreams and to your right to develop this country into a symbol that I hope will inspire others to follow the example you set, Mr. President. So thank you. Thank you for the chance to be with you.
Thank you very much, Excellency and Secretary Rubio. Members of the media, in the interest of time.
Hold on, people. You know the difference between them people and Jamaica? Them not calling the most honorable. We don't hear them call politicians that are foreign. Jamaica, the most right honorable U.S. Secretary of Jamaica do that, you know. We don't hear them people that say no right honorable. It does a U.S. Secretary of State. That's how we see them do it up here. Jamaica, you have to put the most right honorable Dr. This, that ABC Q120. If you notice them people here, did you hear them say? All right, make we go and listen. Where are going at some people?
We will accommodate 4 questions. We will feed 2 questions from the local media and 2 from our visiting media. I recognize Starbrook News from the local.
4 questions. They hear that? Same thing at Jamaica. Is there a pattern? So, is it Rubio's idea or we'll go taking 4 questions? All of you are going, people. 4 questions at Jamaica, you know. 4 questions as a 2. You are going.
Media, as well as Mr. Campbell from the local media. From the visiting media, okay, you represent. Good, great. And all right, we'll start with Marcel from Starbrook News.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Marcel Thomas from the Starbuck News. You just spoke of consequences for aggressive actions and that the U.S. is Guyana's partner. Given Venezuela's unprovoked aggression towards Guyana, I want to know if your country would stand by Guyana militarily if Venezuela were to attack this country, and what would be the U.S.'s response should Venezuela attack U.S. oil major ExxonMobil, which is operating in Guyana's waters?
It would be a very bad day for the Venezuelan regime if they were to attack Guyana or attack ExxonMobil or anything like it. It would be a very bad day, a very bad week for them, and it would not end well for them. I'm not going to get into details of what we'll do. We're not big on those kinds of threats. I think everybody understands, and I want it to be clear. We've made this clear repeatedly. I think the U.S. Navy today is making it clear and demonstrating our ability to. We have a big Navy, and it can get almost anywhere. It can get anywhere in the world. We have commitments that exist today with Guyana. We want to build on those, expand on those, and we'll leave it for the appropriate time. But suffice it to say that if that regime were to do something such as that, it would be a very bad move. It would be a big mistake for them.
We now invite from our visiting media, please remember to identify yourself and the media host you represent.
Hi, thank you. Hello, Mr. Secretary. Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for taking questions from us. We appreciate it. Humayra Pamuk from Reuters. Mr. Secretary, a Turkish student in Boston was detained and handcuffed on the street by plainclothes agents. A year ago, she wrote an opinion piece about the Gaza war. Could you help us understand what the specific action she took led to her visa being revoked?
Yeah.
And what was your State Department's role in that process?
We revoked her visa. It's an F1 visa, I believe. We revoked it, and here's why. And I'll say it again. I said it everywhere. Let me be abundantly clear, okay? If you go apply for a visa right now, anywhere in the world, let me just send this message out. If you apply for a visa to enter the United States and be a student, and you tell us that the reason why you're coming to the United States is not just because you want to write op-eds, but because you want to participate in movements that are involved in doing things like vandalizing universities, harassing students, taking over buildings, creating a ruckus, we're not going to give you a visa. If you lie to us and get a visa and then enter the United States and with that visa participate in that sort of activity, we're going to take away your visa. And once you've lost your visa, you're no longer legally in the United States, and we have a right, like every country in the world has a right, to remove you from our country. So it's just that simple. I think it's crazy. I think it's stupid for any country in the world to welcome people into their country that are going to go to your universities as visitors. They're visitors. And say, I'm going to your universities to start a riot. I'm going to your universities to take over a library and harass people. I don't care what movement you're involved in. Why would any country in the world allow people to come and disrupt? Now, we gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses. And if we've given you a visa and then you decide to do that, we're going to take it away. I encourage every country to do that, by the way, because I think it's crazy to invite students into your country that are coming onto your campus and destabilizing it. We're just not going to have it. So we'll revoke your visa, and once your visa is revoked, you're illegally in the country and you have to leave. Every country in the world has a right to decide who comes in as a visitor and who doesn't. If you invite me into your home because you say, I want to come to your house for dinner, and I go to your house and I start putting mud on your couch and spray painting your kitchen, I bet you're going to kick me out. Well, we're going to do the same thing if you come into the United States as a visitor and create a ruckus for us. We don't want it. We don't want it in our country. Go back and do it in your country. But you're not going to do it in our country. Sure.
Let me touch upon that because we have Jamaican student over here. Me, myself, my nephew is over here on a scholarship from GC Foster College. So I have a nephew over here doing well in school. And see me go graduation. See me went to the graduation, and I show you guys that. So let me tell you something, Wagwan people. I'm going to tell all of you pick me at Jamaica. You know, hear me always talk, say, me come here, come drink milk, me no come here for count cow. He say, if you pick the left from the country, them country come up here and I lick head with some of the college students, get themselves in a trouble. Don't try that, Jamaican. Yeah? Even though Jamaican people are really, students really not getting in some entanglement. But let that be a warning to any youth of their Jamaica. Come on, them places, come on, college family. Come get your education. Stay away from bull crap. You hear me always I say on my platform, milk me there drink, me no count cow. That's why I separate myself emotionally from politics. Don't come over here so come follow some people. Because you have a classmate, you know, where rile up ahead and you follow some other people who don't care. When you come from some poor community of Jamaica, because I know it. My nephew up here so go to school, and other students from Caribbean country who don't have no money, really, really poor. Really, really poor. And them education gain them a scholarship. And that would be so hurtful to see a family get a kick out of this country because you come here come join some protests and I go to some ruckus. Because now, hey, college kids do some things, people. Me have seen it. Some of us are one, me not say I do it. Me not say I do it. Or no Jamaicans I do it. But me have the right for one, because I sit when me know, me experience. Nobody follow no college students go do nothing. Stay in your dam. Me I beg you, please. Stay in the dam. No care what kind of ruckus are going out there. You tell them, say, you don't come here to drink milk. Cow. You come here to drink milk. And that's what you tell them, If your friend in the class, I say, come here, go there, so, here's how we plan this, because college kids, they arrange a lot of protest people. Nobody can arrange protests like them. You make sure you tell your friend them, say, and milk, you come here to drink. You don't come here for cow. Your family too poor to disappoint them. All right, let's continue to listen to the rest of the press conference. Gentle people.
Tell me your follow-up, and I'll tell everyone. Depending on your question, I'll answer it or not.
All right, I now invite our Guyanese representative.
Can I get her follow-up real quick?
So it seems as if Rubio and his team dictate the amount of questions. Because they've seen 4 questions in Jamaica. If I wasn't listening to this, we'd have beat Andrew Honest them and say them do it like yesterday. But now me I hear this. Me apologize to them with the 4 questions because I beat them yesterday. So me apologize. It was a Jamaican problem. It wasn't Dana problem. So I apologize to her for that. Because after listening here, it is the same 4 question press conference going on right here also. For that, I apologize to the Andrew Honest administration. You have to do that, people. You got to do the right thing when I give people information. And when they know the right thing, we're not going to hug it up. They're going to tell you the truth. It's not Andrew Honest administration who decides, say, Uncle 4 question or Dana, like we thought yesterday. Can you hear them say again, is it 4 question? And what Rubio said, what is the follow-up question? Let me see if basically if I want to answer it, make we go on list. And he ask, can I answer this question? Maybe he's asking his handlers or whoever, I don't know.
Go ahead. Maybe might be more than 300 at this point. We do it every day. Every time I find one of these lunatics, I take away their visa.
You're saying it could be more than 300
Sure,
visas?
I hope. At some point, I hope we run out because we've gotten rid of all of them. But we're looking every day for these lunatics that are tearing things up. And by the way, we want to get rid of gang members too. So Venezuela sent us a bunch of gang members. I'm sure you've heard of Tren de Aragua, Mr. President. Terrible gang, vicious gang. They flooded in there. Yesterday, just so everybody knows, yesterday, one of these gang members who was involved in New York City and attacking a police officer was deported back to Venezuela because they're now taking flights again, because of some strong measures we've taken. And this guy lands. This guy's a guy that attacked a police officer in New York City and laughed about it in court with a smirk on his face. When he gets off the plane in Venezuela, he's welcomed by this character named Diosdado Cabello. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. Right. And he welcomes in hugging the guy. So does anybody have any doubt that these people are pushing these people into the United States to destabilize us in the region? So, yeah, we're looking for people like this, and we want to get them out of the United States. Absolutely.
Thank you. We'll now feed a question from Guyana.
So basically, if you burn down nowhere and a deface nowhere, if you go out there in a protest or reggae, or whatever, you can be thrown out. Or if so like Trump, yes or so. Don't so like Trump? A real Trump message he must say.
Thank you. Kurt Campbell, Newsroom. President Ali, you've already spoken about how President Trump's tariff plans for China ships could affect regional trade. I just wanted to know if in your trade talks today, if that issue was specifically discussed.
Yes.
For Secretary of State Rubio.
Yeah, I can tell you. Oh, you're asking him. I'm sorry.
It's for both of you. What assurances can you give Guyana and this hemisphere in terms of stemming indirect consequences?
Yes. Well, the goal the president has in doing so is we need to have an ability to build ships in this world that don't just come from China. Okay, I think it's just dangerous to have one country in the world building all the ships. I assure you that, and we don't want a war, but I mean, they're not going to build ships for us if we get in trouble, right? So we need to have alternatives to Chinese shipping. We're trying to create a market and a demand for alternatives to Chinese shipping construction. And I'm the first one to admit that the United States made a terrible mistake when we deindustrialized and we allowed all these industries to leave our country and go to other places. Now we're paying the consequences.
A cheap labor. The US love sitting cheap, you know, people. That's why China get rich, you know. You know why China get rich? The US love cheap labor. All them sweatshop in China where people being abused. The West benefit from it. We all benefit from it over here. So while China abuse them people and work them to death. You see? So you see, you hear what I talk about? Say it a backfire. Make go and listen. The Secretary of the United States.
We have to fix it. So I do believe, I can't speak, the trade portfolio does not belong to the Department of State, but I do believe that we will take this back because we've heard this not just here, Mr. President, we've heard it throughout our visits here in the Caribbean, and we're going to take it back and explain to those who are in charge of trade policy that there are some implications to applying it to certain nations who are partners and who are seeking to develop their economies in ways that I think serve the national interest of the United States, not to mention the national interest of our partner nations, and see what can happen. So I can't make a commitment to those extent because that's not something we handle at the Department of State. What I can commit to is that I will most certainly raise this issue as a recurring issue in multiple places, that it would have a real, detrimental effect on economic development. Maybe in 10 years it won't be an issue because there's been some diversification, maybe in 5. But right now it would be problematic. That message I'll take back to Washington and to my colleagues that are handling the trade portfolio, and we'll see how the president decides to proceed. But rest assured, we will take that message back.
Yeah, just to echo the sentiments that, yes, we did discuss it, and the region would have raised it also. But the Secretary Rubio, as he said, would take this back and to see whether there can be any special initiative for the region, given our specific circumstances. But let me say also that we have a responsibility to our friends. The U.S. is a great friend of ours. The U.S. would have made it very clear that they're ready to stand by us in our development, in our economic expansion, in our security, and in our defense. And I would say very boldly that such friends must have some different and preferential treatment, because a friend who will defend me when I need a friend to defend me must be a friend that enjoys some special place in our heart and in our country, and that will be the case. Thank you.
Just quickly, illegal migration.
Special treatment.
Also listed as the topic of discussion. Could you say what are the expectations from Guyana in this regard, and any discussions on third country deportation?
Well, we want to work with you on that. I think that's a problem for you as well. I mean, obviously, because of a combination of your growing economy, labor needs, and your geography, you've been a place where a lot of people have come in. And I think you want it to be the right people, right? So I think if we have information that someone has entered your country who has bad intentions, we want to be able to share that with your government, because you don't want that. You don't want those, if we have information on a Trinidad gang member from Venezuela, we want to make sure that we have collaboration and we're sharing that information. If we have information that some narco trafficker is taking up shop here and has decided to try to turn this into a base of operation, which could lead to violence and warfare here, gang warfare, we want to be able to share that with you. We want to prevent these problems from happening. So from the perspective of Guyana, which is not a source country of migration to the United States per se, illegal migration, but it is a country that receives. Unfortunately, you're getting a lot of people, and not everybody that comes here. I mean, most people are probably here to work hard and so forth, but not everyone. So if we have information that someone is in your country that we know is a bad person, we want to be able to share it with you. We want to be able to share it with you very quickly. So that sort of information sharing, it has to be a cornerstone of this security agreement that we signed today and want to continue to expand upon.
We will now feed our final question from our visiting media.
Thank you so much. Vera with Vera Bergengruen with Wall Street Journal.
They're very tough. All right.
Secretary Rubio, when you and President Bukele, you mentioned Trinidad several times. When you and President Bukele negotiated the deal to transfer the U.S. deportees to his prison in Secot, did you discuss any provisions to ensure that individuals mistakenly identified as gang members would have access to legal recourse? or that they can secure their release if they are brought there?
Yeah, we have, that list was carefully vetted, provided to us by Homeland Security. We have confidence in it. What we negotiated is the reality.
Nah, take no call, no.
Salvador comply with all the national, international requirements for imprisonment. So we sent them people, it was a combination of people, gang members, people we knew were involved in activities that were not productive to the United States, all of them removable in terms of our laws, all of them. Every single one of them was someone who was removable from the United States, irrespective, and MS-13 members, many of whom are Salvadoran, that we had identified as MS-13 members that they had helped us identify as well. So it was a combination of people that we sent. And, we may send more. We'll see. I mean, it's up to their willingness to accept, but we're grateful to them for the opportunity to do that. And remember, one of the reasons why we had to send some of those people there is because at the time, Venezuela wasn't taking their people back. The Maduro regime, I say Venezuela, but it's not the Maduro regime, was not taking their people back. They refused to take people back. Their own people. They have an obligation. If you are a country and someone is illegally in another country, you have an obligation to take those people back, whether they're criminals or not. Venezuela said they wouldn't take them back. So we had to find a place to send them, especially the ones that had records or ones that we had strong suspicions and evidence that were involved in illicit activity. And so we had to send some to El Salvador because of that. Now they've taken them back. And one of them yesterday gets off an airplane, and this narco trafficker, Cabello, greets him and hugs him on the tarmac. Now, what I heard, ultimately, by the way, is that some of these gang members we sent back were so bad to Venezuela, they were so bad that after hugging them, maybe not this guy, but I don't know, they had to put 4 or 5 of them back in jail because that's how dangerous these people are, even though they hugged them on the tarmac and put on this show. These are some really bad people. Tren de Aragua is one of the most dangerous gangs the world has ever seen. Okay, when they were held temporarily in Guantanamo while being transferred to Honduras, because that's when the Venezuelans picked some of them up, the Marines at Guantanamo said these are some of the roughest people we've ever interacted with. They were worse than the Al-Qaeda guys that were in their jails. Think about that. So that's who we're getting rid of, and we want to get rid of more of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, this brings the end to our media conference, and I would like.
What do you think, people? What do you think? Tell me what you think about it. This have a different tone than yesterday in Jamaica, don't it? Don't it, people? Have a little bit more to it, like Marco Rubio, get a little bit more, like you get a call and say, hey, you having too much fun down there. You need to put on more humph. We need more humph from you, not you people. I have a question to ask, though. I have a question to ask. The question I have to ask, general people, is, you think Jamaica can trust America based on what we sit down and see America and them best friend, like America and Canada, a sister and brother for years. And Mexico on the next side, my real neighbor. And when you see what go on there, why do you believe Jamaica stand in all this? Hey, people in the comment section, tell me. Hello? Hello? Me live, you know? Me live. Look, hold on. Do you want to talk live on the air? So they're going to... So you come and take... All right, family. Let me finish the show because if you don't want to come, me hear you. Me. All right, sister. All right, respect here. All right, I will. So me have a Guyanese who just called me a while ago and tell me say Rubio come down there to get land to set up base to attack Venezuela. I don't know that to be true anywhere. There's an allegation from a call I just get a while ago from a Guyanese say I land him off for down there to build base so them can launch attack on Venezuela. I'm not sure of that, but someone from Guyana who just called me and tell me that a while ago. I may ask,
based on what happened with Canada and Mexico. I don't think this might be a little bit different where, you know, the US love it more than how they love Canada and Mexico. So they might, you know, want to think people, comment section. Jaja. Anyway, we live in a serious time. And let me tell you something. We will never hear the rest of the story what happened as such man. But the reason why I read all of them stuff for Uno, so you can see a pattern of when Rubio come out here, it's just hammer going to the Chinese, cutting off Chinese foot from under them. I tell you guys already. I'm going to tell you again. There is, remember the last Trump administration, you know, all the Trump attack and get a lot of pattern from China's and all them things. All part things, you understand me? So, remember, the US sanctioned China. And China sanctioned the US back. They look harder. And when they understand, the US sanctioned China and China hit back harder. Basically giving the US the middle finger. Say F you. Right? So, the US, I may say it already, I'm going to teach someone again. The US wield great power in the Caribbean. There's no doubt. The US wield great power in the Caribbean. All the way in the Caribbean depend on the US. Because leaders never follow the Marcus Garvey philosophy. To do it yourself, self-sufficient. So we cannot stand up against America. We are not in that position. You are hungry, kill we? Yes, Borg. Same number. You want, me really don't want to take no call, you know. Coming off here, some of the vibes, I'm going to put me in trouble with them people, you know. Coming up, come here for drink milk. Cow milk, me come here for drink. So, me a show no what I want, people. The sanction, let me outline a show what I want. The sanction, what I want. And China now adhere to nothing. China fling sanction back as a FU. So, to cut off China lifeline, remember, because China big in the Caribbean, you know. That's why he come to Jamaica, one of the first after, you know, him left the little island close by the US. So he come to Jamaica first, and here Andrew Wooders say, I take note that you came to Jamaica first. Like Andrew Wooders want to say, boy, it's because we are friends. And you understand me? Like here, the Guyana president, I say, boy, we are friends, right? So I'm expecting preferential treatment. You know, you're the Guyana president, says some people. That's what the man say. We are friends, right? But him never talking, you know, cowardness like Andrew Wooders, no? Him not talk like he's scared or afraid of Rubio, no? He talk like a real man. No fear no in him. Unlike yesterday, when such man attack, you could have hear a pin drop and he go behind the basket, turn up and hold him hand. You know? Yeah, fold him hand. It's me I say, people. So, China now take no talk from the US with his sanction. They must sanction back. So if the US control and wield great power in the Caribbean, that's what they're doing, people. That's what they're doing. Cutting off China foot from any money where come from the West. So anything where go to China, the Road and Belt Initiative, remember again, I repeat, the US wield great power in the Caribbean. They wield the power. When we hear countries that say, what the US do for me? Remember me, I go back to Unino. We beggy too much. We always looking for a savior, our black country. All the way in the Caribbean, look how black country roll, no man. Black country. Everybody wait for the white man, always wait for a savior. It no matter what kind of education America give with Canada and England, we don't take it and use it for our advantage. I want to hear me, I say, people. Black people better wake the hell up, you know. We got Canada, we got England, we go all about it in the world, people from the Caribbean. Go get education and wealth. And in 2025, we still don't do nothing with education when we get in. These are the things we want to tell us, a black man have to change your mentality. That's why we hear Mark Golden say he must teach the Marcus Garvey philosophy in a school and bring back civics. And the first step, people, is education. You hear? Look on it good what Carlos I say. So sometimes you hear some Jamaica say, what America do for me? Man, what you want for them to do? Give you the toilet paper and wipe your ass too? Give you the toilet paper and wipe your ass too. How many country America educate, turn rich? What the hell we do with it? What we do with it? We country never call back to us and say, guys, with the knowledge we want to gain, in America, Canada, England, anyone of there, come back to the country and give some knowledge. Come back, come train the nation. Come back so we can build something, so we can be self-sustainable. Come back, come we step up on the Marcus Garvey philosophy of self-reliance. Have you ever seen any one of these Caribbean islands doing that? Have you ever seen any one of these Caribbean islands doing that? All of you they say, well, what America can do for me, do for me, do for me. What about doing stuff for ourselves? How long are we going to be beggars? How long are we going to be beggars? That's why I tell you, America wield great power in the Caribbean. And we are not in a position to even talk back. We're not set up ourselves to win. We're not set up ourselves. That means if something happens, that is what is happening to black people. That is what is happening to black people. We have become a beggar worldwide. Look, Africa. USAID money I got Africa. USAID money I got Africa. Why? Can anybody tell me? USAID going to country with gold and diamonds and silver and all kind of resources. Think of people just take a moment and think how we black people bring something wrong with we, you know? Every day a black man I say, what America do for me? America don't do nothing for me. But America did educate a black ass. Make so many Africans rich in America. People, me know some Africans in California, you know, real rich. Live like a god in California. Africans, they come here, they go to school, they get good education. They live like gods in California. African, I have some Africans I used to be. I'm bridging them. Well, me used to dead one of the African woman, so I was a designated driver. I go everywhere with them. Live like gods. That's how them live in a white man country. But why not to black people in a white man country living like gods? Black people, you take a time. We start, look back and say, what we are doing with all this knowledge what we learn from Europe, Canada, America? What are we doing with the wealth that we gain? People, look good, man. The amount of knowledge, which is power. I'm going to say, the greatest gift anybody could have give you is education. How many Jamaicans are highly educated overseas? But every day, what America can do for me, what this can do for me, why we can't think like Ibrahim Traore? Why? Why we can't think like that man there? The man refused freaking IMF. He don't want to hand out. About time black man wake up in the people. That's liberty and liberty. When you say I'm going to say liberty, they might take with we, you know? But we can't talk back. Because what people? We're not in the position. We just set up ourselves with all the education people. This is 2025, you know. Me born come see Jamaicans, I got foreign, you know. All the country in the world, you're going to find a Jamaican there, you know. Me have my brethren who got states with me in there Dubai right now as an architect. I build all of them funny looking building over Dubai. So I'm going to Dubai and give the best and the brightest left Jamaica. None of the government don't look for pull them back. Only here that are going to Trinidad and Tobago. Same goddamn thing, people. Dead ass brain black people. We allow this shit. If you don't got the 4 rules and can't shit by you. That is what happened to black man in 2025. They have a feed with goddamn self for a month. If the ship them stop coming to our country, we're dead for hungry. That's why I said, America wield great power in the Caribbean. We are not in any position to even talk back. I mean, I ask you, anything America wants, we have to give it to them. Guyana is a little bit different because you can't say Guyana have them oil. Them have the oil, they have money. Them have their money, gentle people. But what Carlos is saying is that, listen to good people, and we cause this people. Me born people, me pass half a century, you know. Me pass half a century in age. Me pass half a century. So for half a century and beyond, because me born come see Jamaica and I go foreign. Black man, our country, I've never thought of using our own resources, which is the own people, to develop them country. Never reach back. I never hear one of them reach back and say, you guys in the diaspora, who are engineers, who are scientists, FBI, CIA, Jamaicans, they are both are foreign in all the jobs. You name all the jobs you can think of. Even the politics. Black leaders don't reach back. Black leaders don't reach back. And the educated and rich ones were left the island living like a god in a white man country. We not ready yet, people, and we cause them shit, yeah. Warm to the mentality like Ibrahim Traore. There always be a bootlick and a beggar. We cannot talk back. We can't talk back. We don't put yourself in a position to stand up to nothing. We are nothing but beggars. Bootlickers. Look how much we America have. That's what I say. Don't tell me say America don't do nothing for we. Don't tell me that. Me don't have to hear that. I done this conversation that. Don't say America did nothing for us. That's a lie. That's a lie. America have done so much. Me say, the best thing a man could do for you is educate you. You know what, Jamaicans that are educated who never went back to school, just being in America. Many of us come back to Jamaica right now will never be the same. The amount of things that we learn in the white man country. So we don't want to hear no man say America never do nothing for we. That's a beggy mentality. Beggar. Like every 4 years, 5 years, politician come, they do something for we. That's the mentality of black people from the Caribbean to Africa. Look at Africa, look at the gold that them got. But USAID I go there. Can you imagine? USAID I got Africa. Ibrahim Traore said Africa don't need that. Traore said Africa don't need that. People, I hope we'll take this moment in time. Youngsters, when I learn, when I watch what going on in the world, when you know what it takes to get out of this, it's going to be unity. Self-dependency, man. Do it yourself. Marcus Garvey philosophy. But none of them boys will come in power ever teach Marcus Garvey philosophy in schools. Can we teach about self-independence? It teach about independence, family. Do it yourself. That's why none of these black leaders in Jamaica ever take up Marcus Garvey philosophy and teach in our school. Guess who, with him bright self, say I'm going to teach Marcus Garvey philosophy and bring back civics? The white man. Look at that. Look at that. People take a white man to know the culture more than we. And I like people. And love with respect with culture more than me. Mark Golding, respect. Mark Golding, respect. Marcus Garvey philosophy more than the black man them. You have to tell me say Mark Golding have more respect for a black man's philosophy, Marcus Garvey, than the blacks. That's where we went wrong, people. We left Marcus Garvey philosophy and we gone to Europe. We don't trade with the members of the Caribbean and CARICOM. We don't do business with them. I must Europe we are going to look partnership on this. We don't trade with Africa. We never going to look partnership with Africa. You ever see the Prime Minister going to Africa going to talk to nobody yet and say, if we can get some things, trade back and forth. No, man, Europe them gone, man. You ever see them going to the Caribbean and the CARICOM and say, okay, guys, make a trade back and forth? Huh? You have to tell me say there's no market for anything in the Caribbean among us as black people. No, man, we're going to Europe, man. The black leaders, them step away from the Marcus Garvey philosophy. That is the reason why we are here where we are today. I want you guys to know these things are young people. Young people want to know. Young people want to know what happened to we right now. We're under four rules and go get shit upon. And we can't talk back. Cannot talk back, people. Say fair. Don't say fair. Open your mouth. That's why such man's face was like on the screen. CARICOM is big on farming, self-reliance. Andrew Onis have not mentioned anything about that. Me and the PNP them talk about it. Wonder why Andrew Onis is backing away from doing business with CARICOM. So we can have some food security among us. Such man work with the Caribbean. If stab them in them back. Such man work with the Caribbean, you know. He's a backstabber. Look at it again, people. How did we get here? We can't talk back. Ibrahim Traore is a different man. He's not in it for a pocket of money. That's the difference with him and Andrew Onis and the others. Many black leaders going there for money from the Caribbean to Africa, then went in there for a bag of money. They will take it from anybody. They don't know to stand up. Here is Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Cherry. Hear this.
Since becoming president in September 2022, Ibrahim Traoré has made big changes to Burkina Faso's economy. He rejected financial aid from international organizations like the World Bank and IMF, saying Africa does not need them. Instead, he focused on using the country's own resources. He reduced the salaries of ministers and lawmakers by 30%, but increased government workers' salaries by 50%. His government also paid off internal debts, which improved public trust. To boost the economy, he encouraged local industries, such as factories for processing tomatoes and cotton, reducing the need for imports. These changes show his commitment to making Burkina Faso economically independent and improving the lives of its people.
People, when they have crooked leader, they can't do that, you know. What am I doing now? We have too much thief in our office in our black countries. Too much thief. And the US don't do nothing to them because the US have them as leverage to get them way with them. Yeah, that's why them not. Just make them roam about and give them as much money and make them thief it. And no say them are thief it and do nothing to them. Because them are nothing but leverage for the US. Do you understand me, I say? It no matter what kind of money we get from white country, no matter what kind of loan and grant, the people will take it, you know, black leaders, you know. Look what money come towards we youth them. Money gone missing. They don't care about the people. This man refused. The man said, "Me could do it myself." Reduce the salary of cabinet officials by 30%. Then boy, I get 250 to 300% raise. Millions, can you imagine? Ever since them boy I get paid, Jamaica go down the hill fast. Me showing up on the platform, you know. So that was the weight in the bus named Jamaica when both cliff, the wheel went over the cliff. That was the weight to keep the bus per land. And they take on the 300%. I make Jamaica fall over the cliff. Me want to not tell you that me, you know. Why would you hurt your country so bad knowing that during the time when you take out the money, corporate taxes was very low. During the time when you take out money to fool the people, you get a big old write-up in the Miami Herald about Jamaica, the financial superpower of the Caribbean. We have the best bunks back of a big sea. All the nicest I tell me, while they are robbery blind. Jamaica couldn't take no pay raise at that time, people. The year before last, Jamaica couldn't take it. But them boy take it anyway. What Cherry did, people. Him refused his presidential salary and his functioning off his salary as captain of the army. That means the president is living off a civil servant salary. The president live off a civil servant salary. The president of Burkina Faso living off of a civil servant salary. He refused all the trimmings and the fat that come from politics. Like the nice cars, the big house, and all that. He might drive a 19-hour-long Jeep, and that him traveling now. He refused the president. Which black man I refuse anything to make them look like a god over other black man because we only seem to show off on blacks. Because all we boast and show off, you can't show up on the white and the Chinese and the Indian. So black man constantly showing off on black people. He refused that. So that tell you what kind of leader he is. And he's spending time developing country. Them boy I take IMF money, World Bank money, and I thief it. I would like to know, last year, 2023, Jamaica borrowed $30 million from the World Bank to build the first STEM school, to start the STEM school, and the first one was supposed to build over there in St. Anne. What up to the $30 million? Anybody know? Jamaica borrowed money from the World Bank, you know, $30 million to build some STEM school. And the first one was supposed to start in St. Anne. Just recently, me seen that the paper say, we're going to start STEM school, and the government of Jamaica is going to be funding it. So me see that, me say, hold on. How you mean say the government of Jamaica going to fund it? You come back to the people, them? You come back to taxpayer to fund that school? When you borrow $30 million US? Where is the money? So them boy borrow money just to pocket it. Because that's what it seems. Look what Ibrahim Traoré is doing to his country again.
As days go by, Ibrahim Traoré is proving to be the modern-day Thomas Sankara. Unlike many prison systems worldwide, Burkina Faso's Baporo prison isn't built for punishment. It's built for rehabilitation. In Burkina Faso's open-air Baporo prison, inmates are gaining practical skills in farming and livestock rearing to prepare them for life after incarceration. Unlike traditional prison labor, which often exploits prisoners for corporate profit, Baporo allows them to sell only excess crops while keeping most of the produce for their own nourishment, an approach rooted in a 1986 policy introduced by Thomas Sankara. Now, President Ibrahim Traoré, who many see as Sankara's ideological successor, is reviving this revolutionary model for justice and rehabilitation.
We have what a Chang boy sitting in a prison, Jamaica. In there, hit pan road, out of a bull crop. Before you use the prisoners them to clean up the island. Look how much garbage there, Jamaica. I have them man clean up the island and plant. That's what me that prisoner do pan road. Clean up. That's your job. Keep the place clean. And in doing so, reduce a sentence. People, that's what them do at Burkina Faso, you know. You think they just have them in the Gunga farm, so? They might teach them something so when them come out, they can feed them family. Now, if they be no criminal again. And it also reduce them sentence. Yes. Just recently, Burkina Faso was offered some mass from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, I'll give Burkina Faso some mass. Let me show you.
Saudi Arabia offered to build 200 mosques in Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré probably chuckled and said, "Thanks, but no thanks." Instead of adding more places to pray, he suggested something a bit more practical. How about schools, hospitals, or businesses that actually help people? Imagine a Burkinabe citizen walking into a brand new mosque, hungry and jobless, praying for food, when what they really need is a job. Traoré basically told the Saudis, "We appreciate the thought, but we'd rather have opportunities, not just sermons." Now that's a leader who understands that you can't pray away poverty. You need action.
Jaja, you hear that, people? They can put 200 mass and them in a developing country. That makes sense? That makes sense, though. You see, I'm in a developing country and the only thing you have to offer are 200 mass. That's what we tell us at Burkina Faso. Serious, Ibrahim Traoré. Serious. Don't care who. Guess what I'm telling the Russian them? I remember my man Putin and meet Putin, you know. Putin offered a shipload of grain to Burkina Faso. You know what Ibrahim Traoré say? He said, "Thanks, but we want to be self-sufficient. That's what we want. We want to secure food. We want to be food secure." He said, "Next time we come back to this meeting," it was a meeting with enough Africans and stuff. He said, "Next time we come back to this meeting, we're supposed to give update on where we at with food security, not just talks." And people, this man and food security, him have so much grains right now. So what I was reading is that they are ready to sell grains to the rest of Africa and help other countries in Africa who need help. You hear him often talk about the countries in Africa where suffer a lot. Burkina Faso president always mentioned them. In the Congo, I was reading something last night. It's like them ready to shut down and run out the colonizers them out of the Congo. But you know, so the Congo are one of the richest places in Africa. But you know, so one of the poorest set of people them in Africa. Our kids them don't even go to school. Everybody come and exploit Africa. People, I was reading something last night, even a Congo. The man them open them eyes. You think they not pay attention to Ibrahim Traoré? You think they not pay attention and follow? You think they not follow? You stay there. Them know that Africa don't need nobody. All them need to work with them people. Them up. Just like we as Jamaicans. Haven't the white man educated us enough? Haven't the white man made us all rich? Many of us. Haven't the white man educate us enough so we could use education, go back to our country and make our country good again? We can't do that, black people. Now in 2025, we are still doormat. And if it don't change, how my grand picnic in the next 50 years, he's going to be singing the same tune when I sing right now.
The man them step away from Marcus Garvey philosophy. And that is where we are, people. That, me I tell you no. Me I tell you no, Marcus Garvey. You don't know how powerful Marcus Garvey was? You guys even know how powerful Marcus Garvey was, do you? Check this out.
Is necessary so that we can start to build industry. Marcus Garvey came over from Jamaica, and he came over to meet with Booker T. Washington. By the time he got here, Booker T. Washington had died. So he went on a speaking tour. He met with a lot of the black leaders that were here in the country, and he wasn't that impressed. So he said, you know, right now, let me go ahead and kind of create some stuff. So he created what was known as the Universal Negro Improvement Association. It's the UNIA for short. That was the first black government, if you will. And the reason I say that in quotation marks is because they set it up so that it literally had every entity that you needed to be considered a government. That's important because that's the first in the world at that point that had an entire government. By 1919, he had upwards of about 6 million black people across the world. That's how Marcus Garvey became the first enemy of the state.
And it take the white man to teach Marcus Garvey philosophy in a school. Look how much we got to school, and all we hear about Marcus Garvey was a hero and him born, yes, and this and that, and that's all we know about Marcus Garvey. It'll take a white man to see how great a black man is, because black people, that's why them say no king no get no honor in them country. It's like black people no honor the great among us. We take them for granted. No, we don't honor the greats among us people. We take them for granted. All old people, we quick to push them aside and say, no, all, go away. But the Chinese people, the oldest person at the house, and the Indian them are the boss. You never know that Chinese culture. The old people are them are the boss. You never know that. The oldest one at the house are them are the boss. Everybody listen to them. I saw you going to them culture people, the Asian culture, all Indian culture. Respect to the elder in the house. But enough of the culture, them all. Me don't have to hear from you. Shut your old mouth. You hear them say the same thing about the artists, them. Artists are all. When them know say they know bad, like the old artists, them, you know. None of them. Black people, before me leave here, so. Look for my problem now. Don't you see it? Haven't the white man educate us enough and make us rich enough? Haven't they? All the countries of black man spread out. What have we done with the knowledge? Some of we get rich, live old, and die in a white man country. And even buried in a white man country. Never contribute back to Jamaica more than remittance. And barrel and them thing there. You know what Jamaican dead with the knowledge of white man country? We are not exploiting the greatest among us as black people. That's where we have to go. I'm going to tell you, Anna Mark Golden, the Marcus Garvey philosophy. It educate a lot of youth, you know. Yeah, man, wake up the youth, their mind. It wake up the youth, their mind, people, Marcus Garvey philosophy. And physics and civics. You may say, over and over upon the platform, I tell you, say, look like a Marcus Garvey born poor. Mark Golden, I mean, you look like a Mark Golden born poor in a one-bedroom on Cumberland Road. And you look like a Andrew Ones born rich with gold spoon in her mouth. I repeat. Mark Golden, I go on like say him born in a one-bedroom, I also shit in a plastic bag and fling it over gully. While Andrew Ones, I go on like say a fiend father was a doctor and he born with gold spoon in her mouth. And he born with inheritance. And so Andrew Ones, I go on, so even don't know nothing about poorness. Thank you for watching this video, people. Share this if you think somebody hear this. As usual, I am a student in our class. Please make sure the comments make sense in every sentence. If it is the first time on my platform, you like my work, my presentation, and my work ethics, go ahead and subscribe and be a part of this family. Because sit down in the front room, it's furnished. Me have food I cook on the stove, nice and warm. Me have beer in the fridge, and you want hard liquor there somewhere, you want cupboard there. Still have Netflix or remote right there, so make yourself at home. You see me? Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this video. We have to start think different as a people. Me a Rasta man picking up people. So now I go up on no other vlogger page and hear them argument, you know. Or now I go up on no more independent journalist page. No disrespect to nobody, because everybody deliver different. And respect to every man out there we have pushed the bus Jamaica forward and I educate the people and I knock knowledge in them head. But you now go up on no platform
and hear this kind of discussion. I'm the son of a Rasta man. My name is Jamaican Carlos. I'm out. We have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead, them can't kill me said. No, we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead. Whoa. I'm from the beautiful land of Jamaica, land of sunshine and the best reggae maker. From me was a little boy from dollar a paper. Pure corruption of poor people paper. Them creating killer, thief and raper. Youth graduate from college done hotel waiter. Politician them attack but them will get better later. Only man them profit at the undertaker. The truth, but I want to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, whoa, things out of hand in a all kind of manner. Motor vehicle examiner are the biggest scammer. Them scam me nephew, me niece and me mama. Wonder when the government a go put down the hammer. Police respect your uniform, the oath on the way honor. No in a rum bar and a drink till you stammer. Embarrassment to the force with no vulgar grammar. Jump in a yoke, you almost kill nana. Office speak the truth, no one fi kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth, no one fi kill me dead. No one when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, well, this a topic when me want to get wild and why so much pretty fall they pan me island. A Jamaica me at a bone, no one no Thailand. Big man dead, they want to take a little picking in island. Pity for the stop, government figure off at them. Look on the size and left me look at that of them. Bring them in a jailhouse, make the judge slaughter them in a prison. When they feel the rat again, I'll be speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now me have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now politician, for your time now, open your ears hole. The citizen in charge of the seat that you hold when election done. You remember a soul, not even go fix two patrol. Can't meet with basic needs, then what is your role? The youth they want better road and light palm pole. Youth they want job and money in a bill full. Politician me say make no so cold. So we have to speak the truth, them have to kill we dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth, them have to kill me. Jamaican Carlos there, here. Okay. Enjoy the tune, man. Labor right wing we paint we toss we back. Them a give we pay beating across we back. Them a take get to youth, them feel off in stock. Tired of long talking time we start to act. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change. Me not just a politician cause enough of them a thief. Nepotism, cronyism, bloody contract them a get. Pattern up them pocket go on like say we no see. Get to youth no have no job and hospitals no have no sheet. Or make it just some politician when enough of them a cheat. Pattern up the pocket nobody no pay a fee. Too much of them at the cookie jar enough of them a tweet. Stealing from the sufferer sometimes me wonder how them sleep. How many times politicians play with your mind before you learn? That's not okay, yeah. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change. From Westmoreland to Portmore, St. Thomas to Iron Shore, Jamaica for sale but not to the poor. Not even the blind would have sell him on door. Politicians if it just them, but without them, would have them corrupt us so the youth them talk about them. With the street that what you promised that you must hold them. You will not remember all the soldier little scout them. How many times politicians play with your mind before you learn? That's not okay, yeah. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change. When politicians have I vote, oh no, we take them money and can them and go along your yard go cook a boat. Labor right wing we paint we toss we back. Them a give we pay beating across we back. Them a take get to youth, them feel off in stock. Tired of long talking time we start to act. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change.
Me not just a politician cause enough of them a thief. Nepotism, cronyism, bloody contract them a get. Pattern up the pocket go on like say we no see it. Get a youth no have no job and hospitals no have no sheet. Or make it just some politician when enough of them a cheat. Pattern up the pocket nobody no pay fee. Too much of them at the cookie jar enough of them a tweet. Stealing from the sufferer sometimes me wonder how them sleep. How many times politicians play with your mind before you learn? That's not okay, yeah. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change.
From Westmoreland to Portmore, St. Thomas to Iron Shore, Jamaica for sale but not to the poor. Not even the blind would have sell him on door. Politicians if it's just them, but without them, what are them corrupt so the youth them talk about them. With the street that what you promise that you must out them. You will not remember all the soldier little scout them.
How many times politicians play with your mind before you learn? That's not okay, yeah. How many times politicians have to fool you before you learn? We need a change.
When politicians have I vote, if you take them money and condemn and go along your yard go cook a boat. Well, on a very serious note, check the background of the man them who send get a youth go gun quote. Wicked youth. Labor right thing we paint fit toss we back. Them a give we pay beating across the back. Them a take get a youth them feel off in stock. Tired of long talking time we start to act.
Only election time we see up on the turn. Keep on the money, give the youth them work. Nobody give the chicken, left the charity for church. Before you dash the money, fix the road them first.
Take a look at money, me see them dash when election I buy vote. And enough youth have tablet. You know long one speak my mind. Rastafari.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. Covid money, miss away, eat the yellow correct you. Use the youth, them money, waste for must have mantis statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take this print of money, God and say that is not you. One day the man above end up, him a got up. Too much eating at the kitchen, some a fiber like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% praise. It burn me garbage pile up the day. It burn me give the teacher them raise. It burn me I see corruption peace. It burn me mash down the people them house. It burn me every day appear arms out. It burn me appear money them a thief. It burn me and them a sell out with each. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.